Hi, I'm Brad Sugars and welcome to the Business Basics. Today we're actually looking more at the money basics than the business basics, looking at what it is that creates wealth for people and how it is we create wealth. You know, when we're doing wealth, we need to understand it's about investing. There's 7 basic facts that we're going to look at in just a moment, but really what I wanted to understand at the moment is what makes a good investment. A good investment's got a bunch of different things. Number 1, it's got capital growth. Number 2, it's got to have security. See, the growth in capital value is important, but security, see, people always say, I need a good return on investment. Well, I like a good return of investment first. So yeah, capital growth's important, but security is also important. Cashability. If I can trade it for cash, then obviously it's a good investment, or it's a good way to evaluate an investment. One of the things I see is that people go and sit there and say, well, you know, this is a great return, but if you can't get the cash back out, sometimes there's a challenge to it. Next, the tax advantages. You've got to look at a business opportunity or a property investment or a stock market investment. If there are tax advantages to it, then obviously it's an advantage for us in getting a better return, but it's also a great thing for us in building our wealth in the future, that we're not getting our tax taking off our compound of interest. The moment tax is taken out the top, your compounding is reduced quite dramatically. You've got to look for income-producing assets. There's got to be a cash flow, not just capital growth, but cash flow as well. If you've got those two, then obviously it's a very big foundation. Add to it the tax advantages, the security and the cashability. And one last point, control. You've got to have an ability to control the asset. You know, in my books, the more control you have, the better the asset or the better the investment's going to be. Now, when you add all those things up, you've got to take it, and every single investment you make, you've got to evaluate by those 6 things. What is the cashability? What is the return ability? You know, all of these aspects are very important when we're going to evaluate an investment. Make sure you evaluate them properly. You know, it's funny, there are myths about wealth. When I look at people, they think, oh, you know, you've got to be rich, or you've got to be a superstar athlete, or, you know, there's just no more good opportunities. The guy's found Facebook and there's just nothing left. You know, the problem for most people is they keep going out trying to get Moby Dick. You know, they want the big score. Wealth doesn't happen with one big score. It's a lot of littles that create wealth. It's a lot of small deals that create big deals. It's not one massive deal. Let's get over these fallacies of wealth and let's actually take a look at the fundamentals of what creates wealth. I'm going to go through the 7 basic fundamentals of how we do this. Number 1, accumulate investment capital. The reason to have a job is to both learn and earn. The earning is not to buy yourself stuff. It's not to buy your doodads and toys. The learning is important, but the earning is to develop a pool of capital available for yourself. You know, it doesn't take money to make money, but it's a heck of a lot easier to make money if you've got some to start with. So get a good job and make sure you put some money away to develop a level of capital to get yourself going. When an opportunity comes your way, you want to have the capital to get into it, don't you? Second thing, control your expenditure. Look, the number of people who outspend their earning capacity, it's very simple. If you outspend your earning capacity, then very basically you will never create serious wealth. The average person needs to learn how to control what they're spending and start to spend less. A fast way to do that is to very simply take away a percentage of your income up front and put it into investments up front, and then you can spend what's left. Third reason, or third fundamental point of creating wealth, is you've got to invest the capital that you accumulate. You can't just save it. You've actually got to invest it. You've got to take it and you've got to buy equity with it. You know, you can't just let it sit there. You've got to do something with it. You've got to invest it. Make it do some work for you. Point 4. Capital loss is one of the biggest killers for a lot of people. You know, the number of people, when the stock market starts tumbling and you know that the trend is it's going down, the number of people that sit in there and think, oh, it'll turn around, oh, it'll turn around, oh, it'll turn around. Look, your first loss is your best loss. If it's gone down by 10%, get the heck out, wait for it to bottom and then buy back in. You know, or turn around, start taking an opposite position, start taking a position of saying, okay, you know, we're betting it's going down today. You know, a put option is by far better than sitting on the sidelines doing nothing, waiting and hoping it'll turn around. Guard yourself against capital losses. Guard yourself against buying into harebrained schemes, stupid ideas that people say, oh, it's going to win. It really is. You know, if it seems too good to be true, generally you've got to look at it a second time. Fifth one, your home is a very profitable investment. Unfortunately, when Robert Kiyosaki came out with his Rich Dad book, he said your house isn't an investment. Nothing could be further from the truth. If you don't have your own home, then you've got to pay rent. Putting your money into paying off an asset that you own is a brilliant investment. It is the cheapest money you'll get to rent that money to buy your own home. When I say rent money, it's the loan you take out from the bank. That's what you do. Please make sure, use that equity in your own home and develop it further. Sometimes people pay it off and then don't use the equity to invest further. Look, if you're very risk averse, you won't do that. My thing is, when you're starting out, if you've got equity in your own home that you can leverage to buy other investments, then you should definitely look at that if you know what you're doing. Don't go and do this stuff if you don't know what you're doing. You know, knowledge is very important. Get professional advice. Go and read the books. Learn what you need to do to make sure you're in front. Number 6. Look, insurance is part of building a wealth portfolio. I am an overinsured person. I personally believe insurance is a great thing. I very rarely, if ever, have I ever had to claim on insurance. But it's not about the if I haven't, it's the day I may have to. It's a percentage of your income that you're putting away to bet just in case something does happen. Maybe it'll take care of you. Maybe it's your family that'll get taken care of because you've insured yourself. I get a lot of people who say to me, oh, Brad, with property investing, aren't you scared that your tenants will smash the property? Aren't you scared they'll burn it down? Look, I'd love for them to burn it down. I get to build a brand new home. I get insurance to cover the cost of building a brand new home that I can rent out for more money than the one I had before. I've got insurance that'll pay me the rental whilst that one's being built. You know, you got to understand, insurance is a very good thing and you need to have it. Finally, point 7. What creates wealth is investing more of the money you make. So if you want to invest more, guess what? Make more. You've got to go and keep learning how to make more money. You've got to keep growing as a person so you're worth more to an employer or worth more to yourself if it's your own business. The more you grow, the more you'll be able to make more money for yourself, and therefore as a percentage you'll always be able to invest more. Create financial freedom for yourself and your family. Learn the fundamentals of wealth creation and apply them for yourself. I'm Brad Sugars, and these are the business and money basics.